Hello to everyone. Welcome. I'm coming to you guys to show you how to make my gravy, my brown gravy. For the ones that don't know how to make gravy, brown gravy from scratch, let me show you how, okay? So right now I have some grease or oil, olive oil. I got olive oil in my skillet, okay? And this is about how much I have. Can you see that? So however much you put in there, make sure you cover the whole bottom of the skillet, but you don't want to halfway, okay? So I'm getting ready to make some gravy to put in my beef stew, because I'm making beef stew as well, because that would be part of your roux. I think that's what they call the roux. It's like your juice, okay? So let's get started. This is my flour. I can't tell you about how much flour to put in there. I put enough in there for the consistency that I want. I don't want my flour to be too thick, and I don't want it to be too thin. But I want it to be thin enough. Thick enough to be thick enough. Can y'all see that? Let me turn around a little more. And what you do, you just keep stirring up until it turns brown, okay? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, you guys. Just keep stirring until it turns brown. You have to watch it now. You can't leave it unattended because it will get brown really fast if you not watching it, okay? Just getting my pot of water, my water ready, because I already have a pot out. Because you got to put water in your gravy as well. Okay, you see how it's getting brown? Y'all see that? Some people like their gravy to be this color. I like mine to be a little more brown. Okay, that should be brown enough for me. Okay, now what you do is, the water I just put in this pot, or you can put your water in a bowl, it doesn't matter. I just use a pot because that's what I had out. And you put the water in with it. And once again, you give this a good stir. And once I mix this together, I don't want it to be real thick, and I don't want it to be really, really thin, just like my gravy, okay? That's one thing about it. If you have it too thick, your gravy is going to taste like it's real thick. For the ones that know how to cook gravy, you know what I mean. Let me get me another spoon. Okay, now you're going to add your seasoning. This is garlic powder. This is meat tenderizer. Sometimes I use seasoned salt. Black pepper. And a little sea salt. Okay. And what you do, you just keep stirring that and keep watching it up until it get kind of thick, okay? Like I said, I don't want it too thick, okay? But I do want it to be thick enough. Like I said, I'm going to put it inside of beef stew. Just hold on a second. Okay, now while that's getting ready, I'm going to go on and do my beef stew, okay? I already got everything prepared and ready. Okay, this is a pot of water, and how much water I put in there was maybe about this much water. Not even a half a thing of water. And then the rest of it I put in there is some beef stock. And I use about like a half a box of beef stock mixed in with my water. Okay? And that's how it should look, like that. Alright? So this is why I'm making my gravy, because once I mix my gravy in with this, and when all of it cooked together, it's going to make like a beef broth. Okay? Alright, gravy looking good. Okay, now, let me go ahead on and get my beef stew started. Okay. This is my beef stew meat. Okay, and what I did to my meat, I dropped one in there, but that's okay. I pre-browned my meat on top of the stove in some olive oil. And what I do, once I clean it and everything real good, I pre-cooked it, pre-browned it in some olive oil. So I like my meat to be a little brown before I put it into my pot, okay? So I got my meat. And right here I have baby carrots. And all I did was I cut the carrots in half. And the baby carrots, they come about this long. Like I said, I cut them in half, okay? And you put your carrots in there. Okay? Then I have some celery. The celery is already cut up. You add your celery. Okay. Check on my gravy. Okay. The gravy is pretty much ready. Okay, now I'm adding white and yellow onions mixed together. Okay? That's what I like to mix together. White and, if I don't have white, I use yellow onion, which is sweet onion. If I don't have the sweet onion, I just use the white onion. If I got both, I use both. That's just something that I do. Okay, then I have green onion. Add that in there. Let me turn you all around so y'all can see it a little bit more. Okay, there we go. All right, you add your green onion. Now, I'm going to put a package of beef stew mix in there. Okay, now if I get ready to add a little seasoning in here. I already got a little seasoning in my gravy. You can also need a little seasoning in your beef stew water as well. Because you have to look at, you got water in there, so ain't no seasoning in there. This is garlic powder. a little black pepper, meat tenderizer, and a little sea salt. Okay, stir it up really good. Ooh, that is going to be so good, y'all. Once everything cooked together, y'all going to thank me later. Okay, now I'm ready to add my gravy. Let me show you how this gravy looks. This is real homemade gravy, you guys. Like I said, I don't want it too thin and I don't want it too thick. This is just right for me. Okay, that's how you make the homemade gravy. Now I'm going to pour my gravy in here. Okay. Now you give it a really good stir. Mix all those goodies together. And I'm going to let it cook for about, maybe let it simmer and boil for about maybe about an hour and 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours. I'm going to put it on low, medium. Put it on low, between low and medium, okay? And I'm going to tell y'all about my potatoes. All right, you're going to put your lid on that. And like I say, let it boil for about at least an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours. It all depends on you. It depends on how thick you want it to be. But I know once it get done, sometimes beef stew be real, kind of a little tad bit, not real soup, but a tad bit soup sometimes. But over a period of time, when you let it just sit for maybe a few hours or something on the stove, it's going to kind of thicken up anyway. But it's still good, whether it's a little soupy or it's a little thick or slash thick and soupy, okay? Now, as far as my potatoes have already been cut, clean, and I already done pre-boiled these, okay? They're not all the way done, but they done enough, okay? And the reason because of that is because I don't want to cut my potatoes up firsthand and put them inside the beef stew, because sometimes what happens is your potato can get too done. And that's why sometimes people have mashed potato beef stew, because the potatoes are too done. They too mushy. So what I do, I just go on and pre-boil my potatoes by themselves. I already got a little sea salt in here just to kind of season them up just a tad bit. And I got a little butter in here that I pre-boil them with, okay? So the potatoes is already ready. And what I'm going to do is, once my beef stew get halfway with it, almost done, then that's when I come in and I add my potatoes and put it in there, okay? Because they're already done and ready. All I got to do is just drop them in my beef stew once my beef stew get ready, okay? So that's what I want to tell you guys. And I will be back with the end of the results to show you all how the beef stew look. And I hope this video has helped someone today. And you all have a blessed day. Thank you.